Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can I? Hold on. Nope, cannot do that. All right, I don't know. Life right now. It lives so much right now. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, is audio recording me? Yes, audio is recording me. Is audio recording you? You say something.
I'm saying something. Is audio recording me?
Yes. All right, perfect.
Only 13 minutes this time. Luckily, the audio and video. I can't hear you.
Final Fantasy.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah. Now I can't hear you. No.
God damn it!
Nope.
Oh, still. Can you not hear?
Now I can.
I'm telling you, dude. There's a bug. A weird bug. I don't like it. I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna openly weep. All right.
The camera's doing the focus thing every now and then, but as long as you don't move, you should be fine.
Fuck it. I don't care. You know what? I don't care. If that's the least of my words, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I don't care. We're just gonna do the show. I'll mute you. Today is July 17th, 2017. This is episode 45 of Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Flatus and Shinder.
And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Flatus, and of course the cameras reset themselves. God damn it! Oh no! Stop! Hold on. Going back. No, I'm not. No, we're fixing it. We can't have it. We can't have it like that. I hate Skype right now. Why did the call drop? What? I don't. All right, hold on. All right. Sorry, everybody.
Right?
I'm. It's not. Boy, I want to fucking punch Skype so bad.
I'm starting to tweet now. The fun ones are gonna stay in chat. Good ones will go to our Twitter.
Now we can add.
You know you jinxed it this morning, right?
All right, now I have to make sure the fucking cameras are set up nice. No, of course not. Why would they be? Now I gotta fix that too. God damn it!
Hi, stream.
Episode fucking 45. Watch Flatus go to the hospital. You wanted a behind the scenes look of what the fuck we do. It's not it's
You
rocket
can
science.
see my doors.
What?
At the stream, they could see my doors behind me. Normally, those aren't there.
Oh, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you?
You muted me.
Oh, because you're fucking muted.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you.
I hate this episode already. I want to go to bed. I don't like it.
Pretty sure this just needs to be episode 45. Fuck it.
Fuck it. God damn it. I'm about to rage quit on this bullshit.
Episode 45, Maelstrom Radio Savage.
Be better than fucking Final Fantasy fucking Savage. I'm no mood today, clearly. That should be good. Hey, well, let's keep your mic out of there. Let's drag you this way, even you out. Ah! Hi! I'm gonna start the show over.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever.
I'll just adjust it myself.
No, it's okay.
It's fine now.
Just gonna minimize stuff and come over here. Click on this and minimize one of these.
Just gotta change some of that.
That's what it is. Backsplash.
Up, down, down, left, right, BA start.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Why do you even want to edit it? Just stop now. Cut.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Flatus and Shinder.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 45 of Maelstrom Radio. My name
I don't know. It is. I don't know if I quite yet regret that decision. Based on what's happened so far tonight, that might not have been a really great choice. You know you're not a developer when? Probably most of them. Uh-oh. Your audio doesn't seem to be coming through to the stream.
Hello, can stream? Can
Are
you hear
Are
me?
you actually recording?
I am recording. I mean, audio people can hear me. Stream, can you hear me?
So just if the stream can't hear still, yeah, they can hear you now.
All right, they can
The
hear me
stream
now.
before, all he was complaining about what happened for the past 20 minutes that you're all familiar with.
Yeah, you guys were here. You know what the fuck's going on. God. The fuck we talking about tonight?
Well, it was maybe about the live letter, and now we can just have a whole episode on Skype.
I don't care anymore!
I still like the fact that our whole episode idea has not changed at all. Originally, there was going to be possible rage or boringness about the live letter, and instead we're just switching live letter for Skype.
Oh my god! Fuck the live letter! Who gives a shit? Honestly, listen, it's all the shit we already knew. What do you people want from us? Like the first thing on here. What is the i270 strength accessories? What are planned adjustments? 4.0. We knew it was coming. Ah!
I might have to actually turn you down for once.
Oh, what's that? What's that thing where, like, that whole Joker thing? It's like, if you just want to succumb to madness, just open the door. I think I opened the door.
The door was wide open long ago.
Yeah, at least I'm not talking in like voices and shit. I'm just like fucking. Oh, welcome to Maelstrom Radio. My name's
Early in the night.
fucking early in the night.
I don't know. We might go through some of this live letter stuff just to
Yeah, I'll
sure we can have lots of opinions. And if we don't have opinions, we could sure as hell shitpost about it. Wait, what is
Lucy-
it called when you do that verbally?
Lucy got it. She's like, just one bad day. Stop it! I can't breathe.
Oh, don't worry. If you can't breathe now, you might want to get an oxygen tank because the show goes downhill from here.
Oh my god, I cannot. We are 5 fucking episodes away from 50. I can't wait for that bullshit to go live. All right. Well, real quick. Let's go through. We have no fucking Final Fantasy news, but we do have some of us news, and I'm excited about this. Next week, episode 46. We have composer. Game composer, remix artist, internet music bravado master, Too Mellow. I'm excited. I'm legit excited. I've listened to this guy's music for years now. He worked hard enough to get into creating composing soundtracks. He did Read Only Memories. It's an indie game. He's doing Cerebral, which is a fighting game that will be coming out in the near future. You can go to Too Mellow on Bandcamp, go listen to his stuff. I've been streaming his stuff all week. Like, if you've been watching the streams, his fucking mashups are phenomenal. And if you're asking, well, is he a Final Fantasy 14 player? No, but does he take Final Fantasy 14 music and mash it up with rap albums? He sure as fuck does, and it's really good. And that's why I'm inviting him to the show, because I think that Shinder and I can have you have to sometimes trust our ability to give you guys a decent interview. When stuff goes right, we do a pretty great show. When stuff
they're
doesn't,
still here tonight, so
yeah, you're all here. Gang's all here. Just one bad day. One bad day. That's all it takes. Anyway, all right. There's no news.
we do have mail and memories. That got skipped over.
Oh yeah,
That was a part of that was like the whole Skype rant thing.
Oh, was that the rant? Was that the memory? Because I don't want to remember that.
No. That was just took over the mail and memories. Then we skipped over that right into community news.
Yeah. Oh well, you ran Omega. We took you through Omega.
Yeah, I ran Omega for the first time.
What are your thoughts?
That was
on
a thing.
Well, that's it. Keep going.
I mean, do we really want to get into the whole Omega thing right now?
I mean, do you want to blow through this first and then do Omega? All right, let's see how we.
Let's bring Omega at the end if we have time.
All right. Live.
Sure you've already gone through Omega last week.
We did, but I want to get your opinion. But we'll go through. All right. First question. Not that I already went over it. Is the I-270? Listen, it's happening tomorrow. I don't know what people wanted, but they are making the change to strength on Vitality accessories. So you won't be as much strength as Vitality though, meaning that you can still meld more strength. They didn't want to put a restriction on the current I-270 accessories because players with accessories still on would automatically unequip them. So they wouldn't just never take them off. Also, about tenacity, it's hard to set the parameters for it, so it's not super strong. Paladin feels really strong right now. Any adjustments to Dark Warrior? And Warrior's going to get a... Yep. Warrior's going to... But real quick on the Dark Knight though. Dark Knight, I love how they put it separately as Dark Knight. As for Dark Knight, they're going to get increase in potency for some of their abilities and adding new effects to their ability. I can't wait. I'm just going to get like all new lights and more blood for the blood gauge. Healers, a lot of...
On a side note, I didn't know that Warriors had something called Shake It Off.
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be a video for this.
Shake it off. Shake it off. We can make... I mean... No.
And a whole bunch of Lalafell warriors.
I mean, we'd probably have to make that video.
I'm just gonna put it out there and let someone else do it.
No, they're not. We're gonna do it. You're building a new computer. You could render that video.
Oh yeah, once my computer's all set up, like all my stuff's right beside me. Once it's all set up, then we can start doing videos and stuff. I just need to get editing software.
That'd be fine. It'd be great. All right, healers. A lot of role actions are very useful, so players are having a hard time deciding what role actions to take. Will you increase the number of role actions available for them? No. The point of the role action is, I mean, very straight. I love Yoshi P sometimes. No. Get over it. Adding some slots to defeat the purpose. So, all right.
I agree with this. Role actions, there's also choices, except for the fact that there are a specific set of slots that every single healer will take. Also, particularly, we have macros already that are swapping out actions that we don't use often. For example, I don't have Protect, but I do have a macro that casts Protect and then drops it.
Yeah.
We're basically just working around the system right now, which is more of a pain in the ass than anything.
Yeah, listen, honestly, I think the idea was that they would want you to coordinate with other healers and be like, all right, are you taking this? I'll take this. That's what they're looking at. I guarantee that was
that's fine in a static, but when you're in a pickup group or the Duty Finder, Raid Finder, you can't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, the majority of the players are static and are in game raiders. World first, everything. All day, every day.
Are we starting this early?
We should
go through this fast and then
I will not be invited to anybody's show. I'm telling you that right now. I know we're on the list for like Gather Together. They will not. You'll be on Gather Together. I'll be over here. You'll be on
back to Moogle Go Round.
Yeah, that's
they'll want you back.
They'll want me back. They'll let me rant like a fucking crazy person.
Maybe LDR.
They'll definitely let me rant like a madman. They'll just feel like that's great entertainment. Dude, this may be my favorite episode by the end. I don't know yet. Let's find out. Due to new gauges, resources like Aetherflow or kept cards are not displayed for the party and can be difficult to coordinate. Any plans on this? In 4.1, we'll make a display both in the job UI and the party list.
Yes, thank you.
All right, cool. Let's see. Scholars, due to the removal of the dot and the Bane nerf, as well as the nerf to the fairy potency, players feel like Scholar is too weak or any planned adjustments. 4.05, we'll see many Scholar adjustments. They're going to give them back Miasma 2 only for Scholar. They're going to reduce the recast time for abilities and make adjustments to Aether Flow, increase the range of other abilities, and so on. As the added mention for Astrologian, a new ability to discard a spread card will be added. White Mage will also have adjustments made with Cure 2 procs and Lily's Plenary Indulgence changes as well. Is that right?
Yeah, that's our 70 ability.
Okay.
That's kind of useless because it's like cast a whole bunch of stuff and there's a chance that it will proc on the exact target that you're casting on. And then if you have stacks on that person, then you can heal that person. It's really a terrible, it's like an off GCD ability that you can use, but I've never used it because the chances of me having at least 1 or 2 stacks on somebody that needs it is very low.
Got it.
I can't rely on it. As far as Cure Procs and Lilies, like that's,
yeah.
I don't know about the Cure Proc thing. If that's to do with Plenary Indulgence, then hooray if they increase that. If they're messing with the proc rate for the Lilies, that might be a little bit more of a problem. It's currently 100% proc rate.
Fucking you want to know how fast my garden grows? Boo 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 boo. Fucking call me Mary quite contrary.
I'm really curious to see. It's like we're gonna make Scholar a whole bunch of adjustments to Scholar, which may or may not have. We'll see how that goes. Astros are just gonna make them show cards again, and White Mages get some proc changes. But nothing about like White Mages doing any sorts of damage or Astros not being completely insane.
So this is my next favorite question. Job gauges were added to create a smaller gap between player skill, but for some jobs it didn't get easier at all. This was unintentional. But we'll be making adjustments to jobs and their gauges. What? Wait a minute. Wait, the whole point.
Maybe it was the unintentional part was job gauges were added to create a smaller gap between player skill. I don't think that was necessarily intentional. It was made to improve the ability to play the class, but I don't think it necessarily was intended to make a smaller gap between skills.
I know, but as a person who, all right, let's say like you and I understand that. The person who asked that question probably got the wait, what?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe, maybe think, listen, there are days where this show is fantastic. This is not one of those days. Look at episode 45. It'll sound great.
I love how the next question just starts out. Dragoon.
Dragoon. The Dragoon. Oh.
That's the question. Dragoon.
Dragoon. All right. Yeah, Dragoon. The answer is welp. Welp. No, Dragoon. The Dragoon's damage output is pretty low compared to the other melee DPS, even with their utility. Any planned adjustments? Adjustments are planned for 4.05 tomorrow. So the name, some Mirage dive animation will be shorter, and the range on the Dragoon's sight will be increased to 12. Elusive Jump will have 30-second recast now. And Sonic Thrust will be adjusted BOTD. It'll be Blood of the Dragon will be 20 seconds. And some potency buffs. Fucking listen, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but if the next question is gonna be about monks, and I'm gonna tell you right now that 4.05 monk Riddle of Fire slows monk's weapon skill recast, but people who play monk are used to attacking fast. What was the reason for this? They wanted to make it easier to weave abilities and provide more damage. The job should be performing well, so be sure to try it in Savage. Well, that was an answer. Machinist. Heat Gauge seems to have made Machinist harder to play, and their damage is a bit low. Plan adjustments to the Heat Gauge and the damage dealt by Machinist. Hot Shot will be 8%. Rook and Bishop turret overload will be buffed from 400 to 800 potency. That's actually pretty nice little buff. So
this is my favorite question. Question 10.
Summoner. Demi Bahamut is in the way. Help. They can't make him transparent since he adds a lot of stress to the system. Since it adds a lot of stress to the system, it collides with another transparent object. Size adjustment incoming instead, and will be set with a text command optional. All right, so that way, if you want giant Bahamut floating around, you can. If not, you'll probably get mini Bahamut.
But it's
Oh.
not going to be in 405, so you'll have to wait a little bit longer.
Probably 4.1 if anything. Will there be any adjustments to Psychic or for Summoner? Red Mage's Cure is too strong. That's
This whole answer is the best one out of all of this.
yeah.
They want summoners to have a better physics because red mages have too good of a cure.
Oh, it's Physic. That's right. Sorry. Listen, I've had a day. Right? Words are not going to stick with me. I can't read right now. Let's see. And I've read. All right. But it's Summoner. Red Mage has white magic in their lore. Oh, and people are upset that Black Mage doesn't have raise too. But it's black magic. Ultimately, no planned adjustments except maybe for cure changes. Samurai and Red Mage will not be nerfed. Any other planned adjustments? Question mark. Black Mage is getting. Wait, what? Wait, what? Black Mage is getting some MP adjustments and the cast time adjustments for Blizzard and Fire 4. Down from 2.8 seconds roughly, and also triple class duration cooldown changed to 60 seconds. More job changes in 4.1. Ninja is quite strong. Any adjustments? Potency change. Gut slash. Slight decrease.
Basically, it sounds like they are looking at the data, they are renormalizing against everything, and we'll see changes come in over time. Pretty sure so far most of this live letter can be summed up as, hold on guys, we're making changes, calm the fuck down.
See you Tuesday. Let's see. Sprint is really easy to use now since it doesn't use TP, but players are unhappy with the recast time. They want to sprint more, at least outside of combat. Unsure of exactly what to adjust, so discussions are currently underway. That they understand you want to run, but calm down.
I need to be able to run more when I'm out of combat.
Yeah, more.
So slow in cities. It's the city. It's not even like the overland stuff. Like the overland, you can grab your mount and you can go, but in cities, you have to run everywhere.
Yeah. So slow. Trust me, I know. I'm in Ishgard leveling my botanist, and I have to run from the fucking Aetheryte all the way to the person. I'm like, It's not fun. PvP. Could they make a change that gives you the XP on the job you entered with and not the job you exit with, so that you can change job if you need be once inside? This is pretty difficult to do system-wise. They are currently working on it, though. That's cool. Chili's here. Chili, welcome to Maelstrom Radio, episode 45, where all the fucks went out the window. No fucks given about this live letter. No fucks given about Skype. Question 16. God, oh look, we're already halfway through the questions. Perfect. I can't wait. Any adjustments to skills planned for when you level sync? Especially playing old dungeons, it's quite underwhelming since they don't flow as well as high level content. Not touching any abilities, but they are planning on some changes to dungeon mobs such as HP. I wonder if they're just going to make them easier and maybe faster for us to go through. Unless they're going to increase why would they increase the HP? Oh, Chili Paladin nerfs make Chili cry. Well, Chili, Dark Knight's getting buffed, so I don't care. I'm sorry for you then, buddy. You're still my friend.
They're planning changes to the dungeon mob such as HP. They never said they were going to increase it.
I mean, what if they did?
It can't be any slower than Omega.
Can't wait to get there. Can't wait. Question 17. Can we get a 24-man raid roulette? This is currently planned for 4.1. Also, you'll be able to make alliances cross-server. Oh, yay. Oh, and for Labyrinth of the Ancients, they're going to make adjustments so that you only need one tank per party. Be unsure of when this will be ready.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it's not so bad. There are issues. I mean, good on people that are still running Labyrinth, but I'm not. And there it will sit forever, unless they give us the roulette. Then I'll be zooming through Labyrinth when it pops, I guess. There are issues with achievements to the old level 50, 60 frontlines maps, which are in the roulette, since players don't want to do them. Any adjustments planned? Eventually, they will make adjustments to these maps, but there are some things that need attention first. Expect weekly rotations of game mode. Yes! the best part of this fucking rotation. What have I been saying for weeks? I'm like, you know, it'd be great, like these weekly rotations of these maps, because that would be fantastic. And they're doing it.
Actually, be able to do some of these older maps that no one runs anymore.
Yes.
Although I honestly think at this point we need to start focusing on the AFKers, because there's just way too many of them, and it really sucks when you get into a front line and everyone just kind of sits back and does nothing.
We can't keep losing. I want my mount. I'm only 18 away. Stop losing. Stop it.
I got that mount. I can't get to my feast one.
Feast one's
Required
easy.
doing feast.
It was so good. It was easy. I got a bunch of wins in a row. It was nice. When you get 10 back-to-back wins, you're like, fuck it. I can just do another 10. Get out of here.
If only it were that easy.
It was that easy. I did it. Proof I have the mount. There are issues with achievements to the old level 50s. Nope, wrong one. A lot of players like the story of Omega Deltascape. Will they put it in any secret or unknown stories in the game using the interdimensional rift referencing other Final Fantasy games? The reason why we put Omega in this is because a lot of the current developers actually worked in the industry around the time Final Fantasy V released and are big fans of it. They wanted to implement the Final Fantasy V universe inside of Final Fantasy XIV. That makes sense in some way, and the development team is quite stressed, trying to ensure the players' expectations are met with the future of the Omega story. They are working hard to release, they are working hard to be pleased. Oh my God. They are working hard to please be sure to look for it. That is not a correct, like, that's not me, right?
They're working hard to please.
Oh, there's a comma there.
I just added the comma to make it easier. But it is an actual sentence. It's just there needs to be punctuation there.
There's no punctuation.
Probably like a good semicolon. Yeah. Cut them a little slack.
I feel like Xenos. Like, my dad didn't love me, and he just fucking sent me to, like, boarding school, and I got real fucking angsty about it.
So you decided to collect swords for a hobby?
my dope sword collection. Fucking Xenos fucking fedora. Somebody please Photoshop Xenos Galvus with his sword collection and fedora, please. Someone to get on that. Fucking Chili, grab Klaus, quick. Actually, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Fucking.
There's more to this one, though. They're also currently working on the Super Savage content that can only be entered if you clear the final fight in Omega Savage. However, it's not necessarily a 5th encounter in Omega. More information come at a later date. A later live letter closer to 4.1. Yoshida does promise it will be chaotic. And normal Savage releases tomorrow. It'll be probably the same difficulty as Creator Savage, although the final fight is more difficult.
Than Creator, though. I mean, I don't know. If it's anything like Shinryu, then sure, it's probably going to be mechanic. It's going to just be mechanics heavy. Like, those fights going in were mechanics heavy, so all they're going to do is make a stress test of the mechanics. That's all they're going to do. Not too. I wouldn't be worried about it. The blade is 5 foot. What? Question 20. Will we be able to do the sniper minigame in an actual raid dungeon content? What? No. It was just for a better variety during the MSQ, and plans for some stuff like this is in the MSQ will come later. No.
I think this might be an interesting thing to do in a dungeon, though.
It would be fun.
We have that one dungeon, I think it's Dusk Vigil.
Dusk Vigil, yeah.
Yeah, that has the turtle thing where you shoot with the turret.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do something like that, but with a sniping.
Listen, we don't get a lot of this stuff. Like, in WoW, this is a lot of things in WoW. Like, Scott, what was it? Let's see if I remember. In the Frozen Northrend? I can't. You can fucking green screen's blocking. But I have it up there, the fucking thing for that one. And during one of the dungeons, there was one where Scotty, the guy on the dragons, you have to use like physical turrets to bring his dragon in, and then you can fight the boss that way, because or else he just keeps bomb diving and blowing ice fire on you. Also, there's a chance that if you kill him, you get the mount, so there's always that too. You get the proto That's that's something we're not getting a lot of, like rare mounts that are in well, although they did add them one mount to the last dungeon where you have a chance to get that, but I want more of that shit. Like, can we? All right, let's keep moving.
Really, that's the draw of the primals, is it not? Are they extreme trials?
No, they added
where your mounts are.
Yes, but they also added a rare mount into the last dungeon, which is the little what's it called? The
70 ones or
the 70 Alamigo, the Alamigo one. He drops the rare, drops that little fucking chingy chang. What is it called? The Robo Tech transformer.
No idea.
The I don't know what it's called. Fuck it, I quit. I don't care. What is it? I've just been walking home with it. Puts me off, especially with the armored police race. What's going on?
About swords.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anymore. Can we please replay the special event Azim Step at some point? The one instance from the the run across the field event. That one. That was really great. That was a lot of fun.
That was great, especially the part where you almost got completely fried.
Yeah, that would be interesting to do it again. Like, I don't know how, I know they probably said lore-wise how often. They will add something in the future to play events like this, but not sure when. Yeah.
It would also be interesting to just be able to replay different duties like this. Like, for example, going back to the menagerie, as I've seen in my Twitter feed quite often this past week.
You mean the Menage a Trois? The Menagerie Trois? Listen, I don't know if you guys seen the fake Xenos account, but apparently I'm Xenos' favorite person on Twitter. Apparently, Xenos has asked me out on a date twice already. So, ladies. I don't know what's going on anymore. I should stop. Hey! Listen, we've had a rough start. It's fucking Skype. Anyway, how many other people got a date with Xenos Galvis? All right, nobody in chat. I know that
nobody much. Because he's
literally Hitler.
I was gonna say dead.
Oh, well, so is Hitler. No,
you're not wrong.
I'm not.
I mean, you are, but not that way.
It's these days where you're like, I can't be mad at him because he's right, but also, fuck. Yeah. All right. Yes. Are there any plans for?
I wish that this was stronger than water.
All right. Are there plans for the Namazu minions and plushies in game or merchandise? I don't know why. You'd want one of these.
I would love to have an otter.
Yeah, otter. We want otter.
An otter plushie. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, I would love to point out that our people in RFC do not like Xenos. Like, they do not like him as a character, and I love RFC for that. Other people though, woo, everyone's like, you ever been attracted to a bad decision? Yeah, that's people with Xenos. They're like attracted to a bad decision. I would say my ex-fiance, but I would say people would say Xenos. No, comedy got too real. My stand-up came to the show. I don't know what's going on anymore. Let's go to question 23. We got 7 more questions after this, and we'll talk about.
You know that we are going to get a Namazu minion because the replacements for the Aquapolis, the Lost Canals of Uznar, we'll have a Namazu
Uznar. Minion. Yeah. So, by the way, I want otter stuffy.
Fish.
Golden. God.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. We'll get more sub-story at Azim steps, such as for NPC who's looking for his wife, maybe at a later date. Some of these are
moon.
Oh my god.
Sun and moon.
I really like the final boss fight of the MSQ, especially since he literally pops out of a chest like in Final Fantasy V. Was this intentional? Actually, yes, that was intentional. It was intentional, by the way, Shin. I know you didn't play Final Fantasy V, but it was. Yoshida himself actually hated the chest in Final Fantasy V. He opened it, got destroyed. He went and developers Final Fantasy V. He joined Square Enix, and he told him, the dev told him, so what? I died too. So they currently have, that would explain why a lot of people are died at Shinryu and they don't want to nerf it because, you died too. They currently have
awesome.
They have currently
nerf it.
Yeah, and right here they state we have no intentions of nerfing this final encounter. They might make an EX version too, so I want that. Do not nerf it. In fact, the Polygon, We'll talk about that after. We're seeming to slide through this. We have some time after. We'll talk about some other things. I can't wait. Speaking of the final MSQ, the garden at the top of the castle is very nice. Can we revisit in time? Yeah, they'll make adjustments so you guys can get it back up there. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm pretty sure they'll just allow us to fly over there because you can almost get there, but there's an invisible wall. And I'm sure if they take it away, we'll be able to get back over there. Adjustments to inventory space. So they have the data on how much it stresses the server, and it's a lot. They have to make further adjustments before implementation, so don't expect it in 4.1. And all in all, they need more time to gather more data. And a question that came in after the statement asked if they can increase the retainer inventory as well. Retainers work differently than player inventory in terms of data. They're going to look more into the data and then add more at a later date. So this is about the turtle mount. This next question, underwater. They think it looks weird with the fire spitting out of it, and they're like, "Well, it's magic." That's her answer. It's magic. So.
I thought we did have different animations between air and water in some cases, though.
In certain mounts, like the what's it called that we're getting? What's it called? The Falcon, the Vibroslap.
Oh yeah.
The Vibroslap 3000 mount that looks like a vibrator.
Vibroslap's an instrument.
Is it?
It is.
That sounds fun.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna send you a link.
Oh, please. Please do. Cannot wait. Don't kink shame me on that one. Let's get going. Oh, you put it right in. Perfect. Can't wait to see what the... Oh.
Great instrument.
Can play it.
I just picked the top one on the list, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this video before.
Oh my god, he looks...
It displays the Vibroslap amazingly.
Oh my god, the guy playing it looks like the doctor from fucking, what's it called? Human Centipede. The first one. What happened this episode? I know,
I can't
listen.
comment on that, so...
I want to say that Fusion was in here because I saw Gamerscape poking in here real quick. He probably listened to 5 minutes of this and was like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to silently leave. They didn't see me. I'm going to say, I saw you and you left. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Fusion. Oh, all right. Why does Xenos katana holder spin, and why does he have so many? It spins because it's cool, and he has so many because they break when he kills people next.
Really, really need him in a fedora now.
Oh my god. Fucking Xenos Galvus is just a fucking giant fidget spinner with a fedora and swords. He's a fedora spinner.
It's a fidget spinner. I never even...
What happened? By the way, new law passed in England. In 2018, you need a credit card to access porn sites and any sites.
At all.
What? Welcome to Maelstrom Radio. I can't listen. If anything, this will be our funniest episode. If we can do anything, we'll just try to make it as funny as possible. Can we get more jumping puzzles like Kugane one, even higher? If you go any higher, it'll create us some graphical issues. They aren't too hard to add in terms of resources. Developers put a lot of time into them. They do plan on doing more in the future. So yes, we'll meet Estinian again. If players want to, then yes. Yoshida likes to believe Estinian is a scion, and that he's watching the Warrior of Light from afar. Zone congestion was deemed gone, so they removed instances, but they're going to bring them back in 4.05. It will be 3 instances again, and the locks only due to Ixion. Now, I have a problem. I know people won't. I kind of have a problem with this. I have a problem with this because I think a lot of people were cheesing Ixion, and that's how they got the Ixion mount so quickly, is because they would jump between the instances. And on off chances, you would get Ixion in all 3 instances, so you could hop between instances and get your Ixion mount. You get your horns fairly quickly. And I think the rarity of Ixion would be needed to make it a rare mount. Now, the people that got it, cheese the system, good for them, they figure it out. Have I seen Ixion? No. If they figure out how to alternate between instances the weather, that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And Chili, I haven't seen him either. Chili, I haven't done the fucking Fox, so...
We can't alter the weather between the ones because we have to have the same weather for the weather predicting thing.
Oh, see? Yeah. So fuck it.
Would it make sense to have the weather? But if it's like special weather like that, like I don't think that gets predicted, so that they could probably randomize or do
Alright.
randomize.
Why not? Just need geomancers. Savage info. Reward structures is mostly the same with some new additions. One item directly from the coffer will be available from Omega 4 Savage that can be exchanged for one weapon of choice. It is similar to the items used in 70 job quests, but so it's a chest, and then when you obtain it, you just go to the city. So whatever job you're currently on, so if you happen to be running Savage and you get your weapon, and you happen to be running again, you get your coffer. You could switch to another class that you're leveling and get your top tier weapon at that time, and you don't have to worry about it. So there you go.
There is a nutkin hiding in one of the rewards.
I don't even. What is it? Like what kind of nutkin? Like a regular nutkin? Omega nutkin? Like a nutkin on a tube?
The
Is
Omega nutkin just sounds.
I mean,
the nutkin to end all nutkins.
It's a nutkin with one of those like little dangly bits on it, like the TV screens. It's like a little nutkin on a TV screen. It's a digital nutkin. Virtual nutkin.
Or it's like a Final Fantasy V style nutkin, kind of like we have the mini chocobo.
Oh, okay. Sure. Also, some images of the new Genji armor was shown. Also, a new image from the Lost Canals of Uzunar was shown. The final armor set they showed also. I looked at it. I just hope. Oh yeah, it's Omega Nutkin. Yeah, I hope that the gear set is better than what we got out of just regular Omega, because fuck, it's ugly. So
I
ugly.
did say that we're gonna get different gear between Savage and regular.
And if you make the gear look better in Savage, fucking top notch. Like if you make it so that people actually want the gear to wear. Like, I don't listen. You think I do true endgame, and like the first time I ever decided to do true endgame when I saw that gross ass armor, and I'm like, I guess I'll just stick with my 310 gear because that looks better. I have this weird like open gap part on my upper thigh on the inner side. Like there's no pant leg there. It's just like you got to see my. I mean, you don't have to go down there and inspect, but just take my word for it. There's ladies. If you want some hot Arad action, just come see Flatus. Or, my character's name is Cypher Blackfire. You can send me RP messages. Lost Canals of Uzunar. Also introduced in 4.05. We have some maps already. I think anybody currently... I know Donkatron sent me maps already. So we could take up to 7 people. I think that's the case. I think it's just like... Is it 8? It's 8 people.
You should be able to send a whole party in.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It's 8 people, so we're gonna be able to bring 8 people in as long as the thing pops, and we'll get in there. There's gonna be lots of lore implications this time, which is great. Updated version of the Aquapolis. Yoshida asked developers of this why the coins aren't falling into a bucket. They responded by telling him they were only chocolate coins, and that's it. That's the live letter. We plowed through that because guess what? A lot of it's happening tomorrow, and a lot of that we could have just told you. Was there some good information there? Yes. Was all of it great? No. But I'm pretty sure that
most of it great.
But that doesn't mean I can't, fill out the rest of the show with something interesting and exciting. And the first thing I'm going to ask you, Shin, what did you think of Omega Normal? You can't give me dead air like that. You can't do that to me.
I mean,
see you, Chili.
Omega Normal was interesting. I did enjoy the mechanics of a lot of the fights. I found that most of the fights dragged on a lot longer than they needed to. It's like those shows that decide that they just want to have like a million episodes of filler in the middle just so that you keep watching.
Naruto?
Among others, yeah. That's one of the worst offenders, though. But it builds up. You kind of get the mechanics, and then you get to this point when you just keep repeating the mechanics over and over again as you sit and do like 30-40% damage, and then you finally kill it, and it's like, thank God it's finally dead. Like nothing changes between that after that point, and you're just sitting there slowly grinding, finishing that fight. And that's not too bad when you have something like as a DPS check or a gate for the rest of the fights, like Faust was back in Alexander, but
we don't have that.
Every single fight is like that. It's painful.
So that I have to ask you, like, did you feel like this was a raid at this point, or did you feel like this was just a set of trials that we went through? Now having, because you and
I do feel like the mechanics are at a raid level. I think like there are enough mechanics that it's a very good introduction to the raiding. It's a step below, I would say, some of the extreme stuff, but definitely above most of the other content that's out there.
Yes, but my whole thing was when I called it an LBR and when talking with Scarlet was that during our romp through going through Bahamut and going through Alexander, I felt like these were places that we were running through and exploring, and there were some mobs, and I know you and I have had the discussion of like mobs are essentially useless or just a stopping point. But Faust, I felt like was a DPS check, and that was something that you could say, all right, well, if you can't get past Faust, you're not going to be able to go and continue on to the boss. And I just felt like all we did was sit. And now, granted, we could talk it up to a lore thing and say, like, well, you're in the Matrix and you're jacking in. You're only jacking in to fight this one boss, and you're not really here to run through. But I'm like, why not? Like, I felt like when we were going through initially, like that could have been some of the stuff we were going to get to these like data points to zone into these bosses and fight some cubes and some shit.
I kind of feel like at least the 8-man rating stuff has kind of dropping. Like the story is really, really good. So I'm not talking about the story in here because I did enjoy the Omega story. But overall, like that feeling of being involved and going to things, I don't find. I think that they're getting away from that for the 8-man content. Now for the Alliance rating stuff, they seem to be having a lot more you run between stuff. There's a little bit more exploration within those duties, but with the 8-man content, you don't have all of that. People just want to get in and they want to do their fight. They want to go to the next one. And I think that might be a little bit more pronounced with the Savage content, but they're doing it so the Savage content's kind of similar to the original content. So it really is going to turn just into a quick farm, kind of like Trials, I think, at this point.
That's a shame. That's a damn shame. I don't get me wrong.
It is, but like at the same time, really, this isn't necessarily content that we're going through for story. Like we are going through story, but it's not something that we necessarily need to explore. And while it would be kind of cool, I don't know how much they could do with what we've seen of Omega so far as exploration.
I guess
I could see in future Omega pieces, like they did mention they want to bring in Final Fantasy V into this and have a more feel for that. So like I could see them bringing in the future places where you have to kind of explore parts of the map or do something along those lines. But for the first incarnation of this, I can't really make one call one way or the other.
I guess. I mean, I honestly, if I look at, and I will use Warcraft as my example because that's my thing. And so, like, I don't know, I understand, but at the same time, like, WoW made the concession of, all right, there's some like trash mobs will drop gear or they'll drop something, or there's like a rare. For example, what was it? In the I want to say the plague halls in yet again, I'm going to use the Wrath of the Lich King as an example. Plague halls, there was these two dogs that were stitched together, and one of the dogs, the female of the dogs had a pink ribbon, and that pink ribbon there was a rare chance it would drop a shirt. Now the shirt was just a cosmetic thing, but it was so rare that people still farm it to this day to get that pink shirt because it is a thing to get because it's the only pink shirt in the game, and it's an interesting get. So I'm like, that's stuff you could do, but to me, I think they almost took a step back and said, all right, well, we can't put like stuff like Faust in and all this other stuff until we get, I think, difficulty right. Maybe that's my thought. Like they needed to get maybe the difficulty and the like getting people into raiding first, and then they could probably do that stuff. That's my thought.
I think that part of it is more looking at the audience, right? Like WoW took the opposite approach here. They had 25-man rating and then realized that people don't have the time or the energy to get 25 people together and try to do this content. So they brought it down to 10-man rating, I think. And then they kind of went to their whole variable rating where you can bring however many people. and then the content kind of adjusted based on that. So they started from a very large rating with 25
Well,
people and brought that back
40 technically. It was 40 at the
True,
beginning.
yeah, like way back when with 40, and that got cut pretty quick.
It got cut way quick.
You can go back to like EQ1 where they had 72, man, and that's just insane. But in even EQ2, like when I was doing 24 person, and we cut it back down to 12, the 12 worked a lot better than the 24 because you can't get 24 people to sit down and agree on things. It's impossible.
Yeah, and it's not.
Sorry,
I was gonna say, but it's like it's not maybe that. Like I'm not caring about the number. I'm caring more about like the explore. Like, and I agree. We could say that since the way that Omega is set up, but I feel like there's like lack. I understand like. I just want exploration. Like I like feel like if that's the main rate, like that is the hardcore, the main rating, like that the lore, the exploration should be in there, not the 24-man stuff.
But I think that that's the point that I'm trying to make here is they have these massive pieces of content built for 25 people, built for 12 people, built for 10 people. And they came from the massive group and scaled it down to this. Whereas when Final Fantasy implemented this, it wasn't, built as this massive massive rating system with all this like story and everything. Like it was, here's a piece of really difficult content. It's not rating in the traditional sense where you have a bunch of people going through this extra hard dungeon. That's not what Final Fantasy rating is for the 8-person. The 24-person, yes, that's exactly what it is. And you can see that mimicked a lot in the design for this. It matches a lot of the WoW, EverQuest, all that style rating, Rift. But on the other hand, the 8-person content does not match that at all. And I think that's by conscious design decision. It's not supposed to be rating in the same sense. It's supposed to be difficult content that you can consume very, very quickly, and you can do within a reasonable schedule. You don't have to put a lot of time into farming the trash, clearing the trash, or anything like that.
But can we make the concession that, all right, let's say normal would have that exploration, that feel, and then Savage could just be boss. You don't have to worry about clearing trash. Just since the bosses are so tuned so high that you just go in and go dot, and then leave normal for this, like normal, which is considered story mode. The story mode and have that exploration and all that other stuff in there.
Yeah, we could make that concession, but up until now, we haven't had a difference between normal and Savage modes.
No, but
they've been the exact same for every single thing.
But at least I felt like with Alexander, we were traveling through a fucking robot.
True, but like, they did include that with a lot of their stuff. But I think this is the first time I think that we're seeing differences in normal and Savage, so it might take them a little bit to figure out what they should be doing, how maybe it can be adjusted for both. Like really, if you went and put in 3 or 4 trash mobs before the first few bosses in Omega and cut their health in half, the zone would feel a lot better. Even though it would probably take about the same amount of time because you have to burn down the trash instead of sitting there doing the same mechanics on the boss forever, it would probably make it feel a little bit more because you're doing something, you accomplish something, then you get to the next point and keep doing that throughout.
Exactly. That's a great point. Great point, because really it just feels like we're sitting there and it gets to a point where we're like, why is this not dead yet? Like we felt like we've been here for way too long, and I have a problem. And the sad thing is, like, I feel like Savage content is just going to be that but harder, and it's just going to be, I'm just tired. Like it's not that I want it, like I'm losing. It's just I'm battling sleep.
Yeah, really the fights were interesting. The mechanics were great. I really enjoyed them, but they all could have ended a lot faster than what they did.
Yeah.
With the exception maybe of Omega 4, like that was a little bit more better tuned. Like I didn't find we hit the Enrage a couple times with that group that we went through, but there was no point in that one where it kept dragging on. Like we kept having to do new things and paying attention to things, whereas the first 2 or 3 was just kind of, all right, we got it now. We're at 60%. Now we just got to wait.
Yeah,
more DPS. More
thank you, Tony Denza, for a random character we met. Tony Denza.
Don't run into the whelps.
Yeah,
Tony Denza left us.
Oh, that's right, Tony. Yeah, what was the name?
We went through like 2 full sets of DPS in that run. Tony
Danza. I killed. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I may have wiped the raid once, once because I made the name. You know, because we said Rigatoni. I said Rigatoni Danza, and I could not focus on the fight, and I was just like laughing because I was just like fucking Rigatoni Danza. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. It was that's a great name. Somebody needs a name in Lalafell or a fucking Rogadin named Rigatoni Danza. Oh, Rogadin, like an Italian looking Rogadin just named Rigatoni Danza. That'd be a great name. Create an FC called Who's the Boss? No.
And on that note,
we still have some more time. I mean, we could probably discuss like I know you didn't want me to say it, but like I said it in the one like, and please, if you listen to this, do not take this the wrong way. This is my overarching thought. Oh, did we have something? I thought we talked about that already. Oh, I guess the call. All right, real quick. Do you want to just save that for the end?
yes, that's why I put it in the end.
Got it. All right. Well, I mean, Shin may kill me, but that's fine. All right. So, and this is just an overarching statement with all MMOs, but like, I know a lot of people are like, well, we're going to be world first with rating on the Savage content, the hardest end content. And I don't know, but like, I still follow up WoW news and stuff like that. And I know a lot of the WoW major world first rating guilds had to quit or stopped, and they don't do it anymore. It's not a thing. To me, I'm like, and I often wonder, I'm like, if that's the case, I don't see world first rating in Final Fantasy to be a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal to me. Like, not like it was back. Now, Shin and I could probably regale you in tales of people that we've heard of on servers and like between EQ and World of Warcraft about groups that were like clutch kills and world firsts and. Like, I mean, that shit.
I did that in Rift.
Yeah. Come on. Like, that stuff interests me, but I like even going back to listening to raid, like the raiding groups that did what's it called, Bahamut for the first time through, and we're doing like Savage, and they got it, and you can hear their screams of joy. Like, that interests me, and it's so weird.
Screams?
Because, oh yeah, they were like screams of joy, but maybe not tears.
Their screams interest you?
Well, yes. Yes. It's like Monsters Inc. I have like that's how I power my room. It's just nerd screams and Xenos's fucking fidget spinner sword.
Are you gonna say Xenos's hair?
Xenos, oh Jesus! It's like a zip tie now. And so I don't know, like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe people in chat would be like, this fucking guy is ballsy as shit for saying that crap, but maybe I am. Maybe I need to get a world first person on here and talk to them about it and be like, why do you do it? Why do you take time off work? Or why do you, like, to me, that's like so much work for such little payoff. Like, I know there's probably like, I beat my chest and I get my nerd cred, but it doesn't matter. Like, to me, like, it never mattered.
I think it's also something that's changed over the last decade or so. Like, it was a massive accomplishment when you did it back in EverQuest 1 because there wasn't a lot of people that did that content. Like, it was a real achievement for you to, one, get that many people together, get that many people coordinated before voice chat and all of that, and beat the boss. Like, that was hard.
On dial-up.
Yeah, like when you started getting voice chat, it became a little bit easier, but even still, like, doing that content with 24, 25, 40 people was really hard because like it's like herding cats. But then as time goes on, people move on. The average age of gamers has increased over the years. Like, we are getting older as a group. The people that were doing that way back when are moving on. They have families, they have kids, they have older kids, they have kids that are playing, they have grandchildren that are playing.
Yeah, they're all playing League of Legends.
Yeah, like the priorities have changed. We don't sit down and spend all that much time. And I think Final Fantasy is doing really, really well with that, in that you can sit down and do the Savage content in a couple hours. And as long as you're focused and you're paying attention, you could clear that content within a very short time frame. Whereas before, you might be sitting there grinding 3, 4, 5 hours, 3, 4, 5 times a week.
I mean, and I could be wrong, but I believe that we'll see people clear Savage day one. I don't see, like, tomorrow. We may hear World First day one out the gate.
I expect at least within the first 3 days. Yep.
So I mean, and it might be Elysium. It may be one of the Japanese FCs that conquer. I don't know, and it could be me. Like maybe there's some website out. If you and don't get me wrong. Like I don't know. I can't. I will never be the person who speaks on behalf of the raiding community. I am not like I'll raid in this game, but I'm not the person that's like world firsting. All right, and I'm not going to be that guy, and I'm not going to speak for those people. But it interests me that there are people out there that do take time off work, that do put that effort in. And to me, I'm like, it's like, what's the payoff at the end of the day? Like, what are you getting out of it? Like, is it just like, man, we're hype, we're the biggest FC, we're this, and maybe that's what it is. It's
right?
it's
just like you build the biggest FC, you have the most listeners to your podcast, you have cleared content that no one else has done. Like it's an accomplishment, it's an achievement. You've done this thing that no one else has done.
All right, so real quick, Vladimir in chat, good point, Shin. Xenos was a dick on a Tank Talk saying that people who can only dedicate 3 hours a week to Final Fantasy 14 should just unsub. I thought that was pretty presumptuous since he's not paying anyone else's sub. Xenos was a dick on Tank Talk saying Xenos was on Tank Talk. What the fuck is Tank Talk? Is that a thing? Is that is Tank Talk? Wait, guys, you gotta tell me. Is Tank
another podcast?
Is it? I gotta know.
Like one.
Wait, why is Xenos? Wait, is Xenos a person? I'm very confused.
The Xenos you're talking about starts with a Z.
Oh, there's a guy actually named Xenos with an X on a different podcast called Tank Talk. I'm fucking flabbergasted right now. I'm fucking so amused. That saying that people who can only dedicate 3 hours a week to Final Fantasy 14 should just unsub.
Like realistically, 3 hours is a lot of time that you can dedicate.
Yeah, yeah, and you can get a lot of shit done in 3 hours. Fuck, we can get through Omega in under 3 if you have the right group. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, like, for example, I can take myself as a good example here. I used to game quite a bit when I was younger, to the point that I don't keep track of hours at that point. But now, like, I have a lot of other stuff to do. Well, we do the podcast today. I'm busy on Tuesdays. I'm busy on Wednesdays. I only get to sit down and play a few days throughout the week. And I do have more than 3 hours a week. Sometimes it's not even at all. So like, I still get most of my content done. I was one of the first people in our FC last time to complete, or to actually like gear myself out to the point where like I was 260. Not raid gear, but for weeks I was one of the most highest geared people. And like it's really like focusing on what you want to get accomplished. No, I don't have my classes at 60 or 50. No, I don't have all my crafters up. No, but I geared the class that I like playing, and I could play that class pretty well.
Yeah, and it's such a weird thing because it's flipped. I'm now. It's such a weird thing that happened, but it is. But he's been busy.
Well, I was gone for 2 weeks.
It's true.
Literally unable to play.
It's true. I'm not.
Long till I pass you again.
Hey, it's true. I'm leveling. Fucking botany. But I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to say that it's not the achievement. Like, don't get me wrong. We were fucking psyched when we went there the first day of Omega Normal with most of the FC. I wish you were there because when we beat X-Death, it was fucking phenomenal. We had a blast. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying like that as an FC leader, like there's a few things, and I have to say this. As an FC leader, there's things I've noticed the last few weeks in our FC. One, the fact that people are constantly saying this is the best FC we've ever been in. I've left my server. I had no doubts coming to you guys was the best. And I often say low bar. Right?
You set the bar low.
Yeah, then you guys come in and then exceed. All right, but that being said, like, you know, like I enjoy the rating with everybody, and that's a lot of fun. But to me, I'm like, I think there's a lot more that it's the same thing with the FC stuff that Shin and I still have not written that post. And you believe it or not, I've talked like on stream, I've talked about this stuff and had other people from the community come in and watch and just sit down and talk to me that have been FC leaders and people in FCs. And they're like, why can't we have that stuff? It's the same thing. I'm like, I think that Savage content should not just be these things, like there should be like a special achievement or these like, and it should only be for a limited time. Like, hey, until we do the Echo, there's a special achievement that you guys get and a special only one-time mount. And then after that, it's guaranteed. But then after this point, it's not guaranteed. It's a low drop rate. It's a 1% chance of even getting it after that point. They've done this in Warcraft with the Reigns of not Illidan's mount, but the Wrath of the Lich King's mount, I forgot his name. Arthas's mount, Invincible. The Reigns only on you could get him in the chest. It was guaranteed drop, and everybody that was doing 25 heroic would guaranteed that mount. And then after the fact they nerfed it, you could not get that mount unless it was a 1% drop rate. And that's really interesting. Like that's like hey, like we not only did we fucking do the raid and we did it before the nerf, but also we all got this fucking mount, and that's a cool picture you could take with your FC or your guild. Like that's the stuff that I want to see. Are we there? No. I think that Square Enix needed to get no. And I'm only saying this because I think Square Enix really needed to get the tuning right on the raids. So far, do I think that normal was tuned perfectly? Yes. Do I think the fights were a little long? Yeah. Can that be adjusted? Of course. I'm not going to complain. I think because once, I mean, be honest, like, did you think that other than they were all mechanics heavy, and that's all stuff we've asked for. Like, we didn't ask for like that. We wanted that. We wanted mechanics heavy stuff. Do I think that they put extra health in to make the fights last a little longer? Yeah. I mean, we can get around that. I mean, maybe just gear or as we gear up, it'll fight like just like anything else. It'll just go faster. But there are these carrots that they need to start putting in. It's the same with the content. I believe I don't know if it was here or in a interview that Yoshi P did talking about like, oh, we saw an influx of people come and join and play the game. I can't wait for them to experience all this new content. And that worried me a little because I'm like, well, if you're gonna say, all right, we have jump potions and we put all this new content in between levels 1 and 60, and you can't the new content you're creating, unless it's Gold Saucer or something like that, it needs to be. One, I would hope you make adjustments to gathering, leveling, and shit, because that is to get a gather from one, unless it's fishing, you just buy fish, because sometimes you get them for dirt cheap and then you just fly through levels on fishing. But to me, botany and mining is a grind and it's pointless. That needs to be adjusted way up.
But that's crafting and harvesting.
Oh god,
harvesting really is pretty grindy. There's not a whole lot you can do apart from boosting XP, but then you just get to the end of the grind faster.
Please. Yeah, that's fine. Real quick, Vladimir in chat, I have a counterpoint. That's a good motivation for people who like to come in for Final Fantasy XIV over a little over a month ago. But playing catch up across Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, and Stormblood, and then gearing up for new raids is a lot to ask for someone who wants to be in on the newest content. I agree. I completely agree. You can't keep adding if you add up catch-up content, that's fine. But I think they did. I mean, Palace of the Dead is the catch-up content. You run that and you get your levels and you can get it pretty quick. I don't know anybody that can't slam through that. Now, the story from Realm Reborn, I get that. That is a hustle. That is a lot of hustle right there. So I understand maybe you want to just level. I've met people in game that have just bought the story skip and are leveling. They're just crashing through the Palace of the Dead. That's cool. That's an interesting take. I knew a lot of people would take that option. I don't mind leveling. I do mind story. I don't want to be story gated. I just want to level up. But to me, I'm these I'm talking about these carrots that are not so much I want there to be motivation. If I'm a new player and I want to come in and play an MMO from the start, level 1, my motivation is going to be getting to the end game and leveling and listening to the story, and that's cool, and that could be my motivation. But if anybody's level jumping and are at level 70 already, my content can't just be all right, well, here's this one new trial, and here's the one with the new content and new dungeon, but that new content was really a Gold Saucer thing, and it's really not interesting to me because it's this mini game and it's something I can go do real quick and get an achievement or whatever it is and be done with it. But then I'm just going to do this one dungeon over and over again. There needs to be heft. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be some bite, in there. I'm just saying, I want this game to succeed and do better, because I told Scarlett my worry is, and it's a fair concern, and Shin may disagree, and that's fine, but it is a fair concern, I would think, as from a business point of view. We know that Final Fantasy's biggest competitor is World of Warcraft. That is their biggest competitor. Now, are they trying? I'm not saying they're trying to be World of Warcraft. I'm just saying in the MMO market, the top two would probably right now would be Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I would say it's those two. Maybe the third is probably Elder Scrolls with Morrowind. Shin's probably like, "What the fuck are you talking about with that one?" I mean, to be
I honestly don't even. I ever hear nothing about that one.
To be honest, I would think it's those three. Maybe Guild Wars. I don't know, but Guild Wars dropped. And Reddit, if I had to base it off Reddit right now, it's World of Warcraft. And game wise, like MMO wise, it's World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, and then Guild Wars. And if it's those three, WildStar, son, nobody's talking about WildStar. Like a poor WildStar. They didn't even make profit last year. So I feel bad for them over at NCSoft because they did not make profit on WildStar at all. They didn't even register it as a profit-making thing. But my worry is that Blizzard is now, I mean, having watched interviews and with some of the new the people that took over since Chris Metzen left, they're constantly saying like, we know what you guys want, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to let up. Like we plan on releasing steady flow of content now because we see that that's what players want. They want these new interesting content, all this stuff, and that worries me because if you're trying to pull players away, which may not be your goal, and I get that may not be your we want players from World of Warcraft coming and play our game. I get that, but you have to also make the concession that some of your players are playing World of Warcraft and say, well, okay, cool, the new expansion's out, let me go play that and I'll put WoW down. But if WoW keeps continually pumping out content and they're saying, hey, here's this new content, also we're going to also announce the new expansion, which may happen at Gamescom or at BlizzCon this year. It's a weird thought because I've never heard of WoW being like, all right, 7.2 is out and it came out the same as Stormblood. Also 7.3 is coming out later. It's already on the PTR. You guys can go test it. And then after that, we're going to have some bit of story. If they say, hey, listen, the beta for the expansion is coming out early next year and we'll have the next expansion out next year, that's the fastest expansion launch in WoW's history. And I've played WoW for a very long time, and there were 2-year gaps. So
on the other hand, though, that's not necessarily a good thing because it usually means, especially with that fast of a time frame, that there's going to be less than what people have seen previously in expansions.
Maybe.
And well, inherently, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It does change the expectation, especially if they try to charge the same amount for it. So I don't think that even with WoW putting out more content consistently, I don't think it's necessarily going to draw people away per se. There are always going to be people that go and play Warcraft. That's a thing. There's always going to be people that'll play Final Fantasy. That's a thing. There's going to be people that go back and forth between them. There's going to be people that switch. All of those things will happen. I don't think that we're going to see we're not going to see a max exodus from either of them. No, the other in that case.
I'm not saying as a max. I don't want to paint it as a mass exodus, but I'm just saying one of the biggest things for Final Fantasy was that they could tout hey, every 3.5 months we have brand new content. All this is coming out, and you guys are still on patch 7.3 and it's done, and you guys aren't going to get any new content for another year. And that I know a lot of WoW players were like, shit, you guys are getting content still? Fuck. And now it's like WoW's figured out the game, or it's ha, motherfucker, retention.
But really, it's one of those things that should not be a selling point. Your selling point shouldn't be, hey, we're putting out a lot of content. Your selling point should be, we're putting out good content. Make me want to come and play. Not the fact that you just keep putting it out.
No. What I'm saying is, what if it's good though?
That's the thing. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be competing based on the fact that you keep putting out content that's good. It's, I really enjoy this content, so I'm going to go and play that. It's not who can make the best game, is who can make the most interesting game for you as a player. And if you enjoy both games, great. You enjoy both games. That's awesome. If you enjoy one game over the other, perfect. Play it. If you hate both of the games, that's where we start losing people. If all of the options suck, then there's no real reason to play anything, and you just kind of hop between all of them.
All
But
the
if they start
options.
making really, really good, then it brings in that competition piece. Like if WoW starts doing really, really good things, everyone else is going to have to pick up their game in order to keep their subscription base. So we should see a general improvement across the board. And I think that's what we're seeing with Final Fantasy. Like they really stepped up their game. They had a lot of consistent, good content that they released, and everyone else saw that and they're like, oh shit, we have to catch up. So they all started doing the same thing. And I think we're just going to see kind of a snowball effect with that. Like one group will do really, really well, and then the next group will kind of surpass that. And then we'll just kind of see a ping pong back and forth until either someone runs out of money or we just have a lot of amazing games, in which case we win.
Yay! Well, you know, it's kind of like H1Z1 King of the Kill versus PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Like they've gone back and forth. Like anytime PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds announces a new like gun or some new content, all of a sudden H1Z1's they were silent for like a while. They were just riding their like money train. And all of a sudden they were like, oh shit, this game's coming out. It's cheaper than around the same price of theirs. And then they were and they're just like, all of a sudden they were like, well, oh shit, they're adding guns. We'll add guns. Well, it's all sorts of shit now, guys. Don't worry about it. We got it. Don't worry.
It's very easy to play catch up, but trying to improve past that point is the challenging part. And I think Square has that history, or not necessarily Square, but like the Yoshida and the team that works with him have kind of that experience of pushing the boundaries a little bit more. They're used to doing this stuff, whereas a lot of other companies are just starting to. So a lot of them are implementing catch-up sort of stuff to match what they're doing, but they haven't quite gone that step to go beyond yet.
Yeah, and it's not something that Shin and I haven't talked about on this show before. We've talked about Blizzard and their tech. Like, don't get us wrong. When Shin and I went to go try, play Legion for a little bit, the tech behind, I've never not said this, but Blizzard has great tech behind their MMO. Like the tech that helps run that game is pretty phenomenal, and like I don't think they could do half the stuff they do without the tech that they have in their developers' hands. And is that stuff that Final Fantasy has? We're getting it a lot of we're getting those instance areas and stuff like that. Like, but WoW makes it seem seamless. Like you don't see it. Like you don't see behind the curtain. Where I think there's a little bit of curtain you can peek behind with Final Fantasy. So
we have a whole decade almost on WoW, or I guess 5 to 8 years, depending on
WoW
2004.
Was yes. Well, no, WoW was 2003. Was it 4? It was the same. It came out before. No, EQ2 came out first.
EQ2 came out November 2014.
EQ2 came out 14? No, it did not. 2004. All right. So it came out before WoW, right? Like that was the big push between the two companies, that like EQ2 pushed before WoW. That was the deal, right? But then WoW came out and
it did. I've just checked it here. EQ2 came out, I know this, November 11th, 2014, because I couldn't get it onto the 14th because Canada. WoW apparently came out November 23rd, 2004. That was 2004 for EQ2 as well. I keep saying 14 for some reason.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but both games came out in 2004, November 2004. Final Fantasy didn't come out till 2009, I think.
9, yeah. It's
and that was 1.0. So that we had a couple years of 1.0, and it was 2012. It must have been when 2.0 came out.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. Like neither of us have played. Well, I played beta of 1.0, but it was trying to melt my PC at the time, so I had to stop doing that. Like, don't get me. I was
in Rift at the time.
Yeah, and so was I. I tried beta, but I also was playing Rift as well. So and that may be a whole other show. Listen, I got a lot of ideas for shows, but like maybe we should end this one. I mean, we could keep talking. Like Shin and I could absolutely keep talking about MMOs, and we'll put a pin in that. Maybe we need something for after the week after Mellow. So if you think that's interesting, you guys want us to talk about MMOs and like the business and some of the thought process. Like don't think we don't know that. We do, between me hosting EverQuest Next and talking to developers and watching that roadmap into hell and knowing Blizzard, and then Shin between actually both of us with Rift, and then EQ2 with you, and I think EQ1 as well. Right, you played EQ1 for a little bit. No,
I played EQ1 for a few months, EQ2 for a long time, Rift since Alpha.
Yeah, if you guys want us to do a show talking about
Quite involved with Rift at that one.
yeah, if you guys want us to absolutely do a show about like MMOs and then like the genre itself, and
We got connections. We can bring guests from all over the spectrum.
yeah, we can. We absolutely can. You don't like. I don't like playing those cards because this is a Final Fantasy 14 podcast, but I will. You don't think I can? You don't think I can DM John Smedley? I got that kind of power.
There are some things we probably shouldn't unleash.
No, I shouldn't release the Smed on people. That'd be a great show. What are you talking about?
If you didn't know the name and the reference, that would be a really, really good out of context quote.
It would be. There's probably like, I don't know. Anybody in chat? Does any like real quick? Anybody in chat? Do you know who John Smedley? I'd be interested. Could be a comparison
Yes,
of.
but I meant we just say if you're gonna try to release the Smed on our listeners.
Oh no. Vladimir in chat, could be a comparison of MMO experiences between games. Absolutely, we can talk about that. Like, I mean, I could talk to you about WildStar. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. To be honest, yeah, he probably did. Honestly, I think he did because he did play a lot of MMOs. He does play. I know he played WoW. I know he's for sure. Smed, yeah.
Oh yeah, he plays a bunch of them.
He played WildStar. He played like. I mean, but what
played almost like at least tried most of them.
Yeah, and by the way, if you don't think Yoshi P plays MMOs, he was at BlizzCon last year. He plays WoW. Don't think like our savior and only hope doesn't play World of Warcraft. He absolutely does play World of Warcraft. So, like, you just gotta be real with it sometimes. But anyway, all right. The callback campaign is scheduled to end on Tuesday, July 18th. Following the maintenance of 4.05. That's tomorrow. So if you
invite your friends tonight.
Yeah, invite your friends tonight, and then they can not play after tomorrow.
No, invite them tonight. They'll get the email, then they can sign up, and they can start with the 4.05 patch.
Does that count? Will it roll in? Will it give them that free time? Or will it just end?
Good question. Don't know.
Hey,
you'll probably get your rewards anyway if they subscribe.
Yeah, fuck it. Just do it and let us know what happens. Whatever. This was an interesting episode. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm so glad you guys hung out with us and listened to what was probably started off really shitty. Maybe we pulled the nose. It was nose diving real hard there at the beginning. I'm pretty sure we maybe leveled out the fight.
Didn't go any farther down.
Yeah, nope.
Well, unless our mic started screwing up or something, everything else had a problem.
Oh my god! All right, Schrodinger's audience, we are alive. Yeah, I see you guys now. Don't worry, I see all of you. Thank you for joining, by the way. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So live, we're here every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Do us a favor. Let your friends know, tell your FC mates. I know some of our FC mates are here right now. Don't tell us, we know, we do the show. We appreciate it though, but maybe drag some other FC mates out here, make them watch. But if you're not from our server or in our FC, like Kane, make your FC come and listen to us because we'll probably make them laugh when I get mad and flip my table over.
Come and chat in our Discord.
Yes. Also, you can hear the recorded version. So if you do miss this, you need to catch it at work. You need to laugh. You need to just get that hour of mind-numbing, data entry done, and you just need to smile through it. You can catch us the recorded show on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. We need your help a little bit on iTunes. We need you guys to get our ratings up. So we need you guys to go and rate us. I honestly. Rate us what you feel is fair. I'm not asking you to give us 5s across the board. I know some like this episode is not a 5, but we've given you 5 episodes. We try to, but just rate what you think is fair. And if you feel like leaving feedback, let us know what we can improve on. Other than Skype's out of my hands. Fuck Skype. I can't fix that. But just let us know. That help. And the other thing, how that works is that it helps us get seen. And then more people find us. They come here and they start hanging out with us, and then you know, it's all good. It all ends up being great things. Don't worry about it. Trust me, it'll work out in the end. You can catch us at www all the W's, 3 W's and a dot, and then maelstromradio.com. You can find us there. That's our show. You can listen to the show live on our website. You can email us at show@maelstromradio.com. So if you have any concessions, you want to talk to us, you think I'm a freaking psychopath, you think I'm crazy about the end, you know, like savage rating endgame, like the world first people, like if you're a world first raider, email me, tell me, hey bro, you're wrong. Like tell me, like, hey, you can come on the show. I'll invite you on the show if you want to come talk. I'm interested. I really want to know. I feel like it's changed, and maybe you have an answer. You can
We also take fan fiction and fan art to the show. Unless you're Paul, we don't take it from you anymore.
I don't think we ever took it from Paul to begin with, to be honest.
We have some from him.
Can we give it back?
You really want to?
Did we ask permission first? Did we say yes?
Oh, we asked for it, and then he sent it to us. Oh no, wait, it was Donkatron. Yeah, maybe Donkatron shouldn't be allowed to send us fan art anymore.
Yeah, it was Donkatron. Try to Google Hangouts instead of Skype. The problem is that Google Hangouts, whoever talks, the camera switches, and we need static cameras. Unless Google Hangouts does static camera, we'll figure it out. We'll find something better.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, yeah. Really, what we're waiting for is that Discord's supposed to be an all-encompassing thing. They were supposed to be adding video chat, and I knew they were working on it last I checked, but I haven't heard anything about it.
I would like to apologize to Paul. It wasn't you. I was thinking of Donkatron.
We love you, BB. Don't worry about it. Also, we can't wait for you to be our sugar daddy and give us all your money so you can buy our house. You can join our Discord. That's on our Twitter. It's discord.gg/. I love that there's a GG in there. It's /.
So it's on our Twitter and it's on our website.
Yeah, it's just go find it. I'm not. It's a lot of X's and Q's. Shit. You can find us on Twitter at Maelstrom_radio. You can find us on Facebook.com/Maelstrom Radio. I've been trying to make a point of posting the show there as well. So if you're on Facebook, as I see a tick up in our Facebook when I do that. So it's interesting. And then twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio, which is where you're at right now if you're listening to this live. Thank you so much for putting up with this piece of shit that started in the beginning, but we took that turd and got a diamond out of it, I think. I think that our most interesting part of the conversation came at the very end, and leave it to us to spin bullshit into something magical. So when in doubt, let us on the show, because we can make nothing out of something. Or is it something out of nothing? I forget. One of those two things works. I'm very tired. May have lost my mind. I'm not sure.
And on that note.
Yeah, so real quick, again, next week, the 24th, 2 Mello will be on the show. Video game composer, remix artist. Sit down and we're going to interview him, have a talk with him, talk about video games, talk about music. It's going to be a super great show. Also, just to let you guys know a little bit, I've already contacted both groups for our special podcast that will be all improv. That's all I can say. All I will say. Just
no
let you guys
spoilers.
know. I can't say anything else. I'm sorry.
No more
spoilers. Oh, our emotes should be up. We got them. We do have them, and everybody that's donated or subbed to us, you will be getting emotes shortly. Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to see the $24.99 emote. That one is my favorite because it's got my face on it.
Is that the one you? I'm sad I don't have it.
I know, but I mean, come on, you have to. That one has to be.
That is pretty amazing.
That's a great $24.99. I'm not. It's great. Yeah. So don't worry.
It's worth it.
It is totally worth it. We can't wait for you guys to see it. And Meech,
I've seen these emotes. They're awesome.
They're pretty great. And I want a big shout out to Meech, and we'll start promoting his stuff because he's a phenomenal artist out of Boston, and I think you guys should go check out his stuff. And it's meechart.com. Go check out his stuff. Go buy something from him. He does amazing, amazing art. Thank you all so much. Shin, you have anything else for today? No?
Not after all that, no.
All right. Perfect. Well, I'm going to have music. Now I'm going to come over here. They can probably hear me now. And do one of these.
One thing.
And do one of these. He's waving like a madman. Boy. What a show. Can't make that. We fixed it, I think, in the end. But I want to thank you all so much for joining us for episode 45. We are 5 episodes away from episode 50. I'm not even sure what we'll do for that yet. But you know what they say? Till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is a production of MaelstromRadio.com, Blackfire Media Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Opening theme provided by Benjamin Anthony James. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Ben773. Our outro is provided by Sodo. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Sodo. Views and opinions expressed on this episode are those of Maelstrom Radio and their hosts, and do not reflect the views and opinions of Square Enix. And until sea swallows all, keep listening.